Okay. Okay, shalom, shalom. All praise to Yahweh Bahasham, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Okay, this is the house of David, the Masharah Allah, the house of David. And we just want to praise the Most High, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, for the Most High's Pesach and High Holy Day, the Passover. So we just want to give Most High, Yahweh Shai, okay, praise for the High Holy Day, the Pesach, and the Passover, and the high holy days and the ceremonial laws. Okay, so we, the Most High teach us in the scriptures, the Most High's laws are not done away with. The ceremonial laws and all the 600 and some odd laws in the Bible are not done away with. So the high holy day, the Passover, it still goes on. Okay, even with this coronavirus and this COVID-19 and the elite of the society put this out on the society, and people are dying every day from it. But the Most High's high holy days and His law, statutes, commandments continue. Okay, come. It continues. So that's why we're still having the Passover. We're still doing it. Okay, because the Most High said, rehearse His righteous acts. Okay, you still have to keep the commandments even in the times of plagues and pestilences. Okay, and the times that the prophecies come to pass, our job as Hebrew Israelites is still follow the Most High and Yahweh Shai and keeping the law, statute, commandments. So that's why we're celebrating the High Holy Day. Now you might have heard other schools or whatever, they cancel their Passover. How can you cancel a Passover? You cannot cancel the Most High's High Holy Days. Okay, it continues. So we're continuing here at the house of David. This is Elder Barak, you got Elder Ash, you got Elder Banyamyan, and we're just going to have a short service. Okay, it's not going to be that long, and we're just going to go over the High Holy Day, the Pesach, and show how important it is, not only because the memorial and the Most High delivered us out of Egypt, but also even today how important it is because the blood of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, who gave his life, okay, for the whole nation of Israel, and that's the blood today that's still going to deliver us, it's still going to redeem us, and still going to help us in these last days. So Ben, you want to say something? And Ash, start off. Okay, we'll start off. So I just want to go to Exodus 12. All right, and we're just going to go through a few scriptures, and that's going to be it. And then we're going to have the ceremony. We're going to bless the lamb, unleavened bread, and the bitter herbs, okay, like the Most High teaches us in the scriptures. Okay, we got to understand something. The High Holy Day, the Pesach, was when we were coming out of Egypt under Moses. The Most High showed us that the Pesach is really supposed to be done in haste. Okay, it's not a lavish banquet or party. It's none of that. It was supposed to be done in our houses. That's how it was originally done, in our houses. And we're supposed to put our garments on, have our staffs in our hand, all right? Get the unleavened bread. The reason why it's unleavened bread because we didn't have time to put leavening in it, okay? So the Most High said unleavened bread. And then, of course, we had the lamb and then the bitter herbs. And it was done in haste because why? The Most High was delivering us out of Egypt, out of bondage, out of Egypt. Okay, so here we are today in modern day Egypt, and now it seems like what? We have to go back to what? Having the Passover in our individual houses, okay, in Yahweh Shai, in righteousness. Okay, okay, so we have now what they call coronavirus, a modern day plague. The plague back then was the Passover, that death angel that killed the firstborn. But today the plague is coronavirus, and it's still, now that death angel is still killing people. And that's the Most High. This is Yahweh Shai. He's in that coronavirus, and he's killing people. So we got to wake up and understand this is what this is about. Okay? So Exodus 12, and we just start from the first verse, and I'm going to just go down to the 13th verse. That's it. We're going to go down to the 13th verse. And there's one or two other scriptures we're going to get, and that's going to be it. Exodus 12 and 1. We can start off with that.
Exodus 12:1. And the Most High spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you.
Okay, the first month of the year to you, so we know that's the month of Bib in the scriptures, Abiyab. All right, Abiyab in Hebrew, it means spring forth. Okay, so this is the beginning of the month with the Most High. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. You know, when it is cold outside, it's still cold outside, you can't have your Passover. Okay, we hear of other schools having their Passover and so forth, but you had it in the wrong season. Okay, you know when that vernal equinox comes, the spring vernal equinox comes, okay, and then that new moon, that first new moon, you count your 14 days at sundown, and that's the Passover. Okay, but if you're having it and still in the winter time, then of course your Passover is off. It's off. So the month of Bib means spring forth. Yeah, hold this one here. Grab that phone and hold it. Okay, just get it, right, and face it towards us. All right, and be flexible. Right, just face it towards us. There you go. Come a little bit closer. A little bit closer. Face it towards us. Okay, there you go. Okay. So, Ben, continue to read.
All right, the third verse. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. If the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats.
Okay, so showing you that we had a lamb, that the households were supposed to get a lamb according to the number of the people in the house. Okay, Khan? All right, supposed to get the lamb according to the number of the people in the house. The lamb was supposed to be no blemishes in the lamb whatsoever, not one blemish, up to about a year-old lamb. Okay, Khan? Go ahead, Ben.
The 6th verse. And ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening.
Right, up to the 14th day. Khan, you count up from the new moon, you count up to the 14th day. At evening, you kill it, okay? And then, of course, you drain all the blood and so forth out of it. Then you kill it and you roast it. This is what the scripture is going to tell you. Now, that lamb back then, okay, represented the same lamb that came, all right? And his name is what? Hamashiach. That was the same deal. Back then, that was Yahushua. That lamb represented Yahushua. And Ash, can you give me John 1:29? St. John 1:29. And the lamb, the same lamb, okay, we're going to read about here, is Yahushua, was that same lamb that represented the killing of the lamb for the Passover back then when we come out of Egypt. Come? Okay, read that, Ash, for us, very quick.
Book of John, 1st chapter, 29th verse. The next day John seeth Yahushua coming unto him, and saith, Behold, the Lamb of Yahweh, which taketh away the sin of the world.
See, there you go. So the lamb back then, when we come out of Egypt, we had to kill the lamb, and then you had Yahushua, okay? During this time, Yahushua took away the sins. His blood took away the sins of the nation of Israel. Okay? Go ahead, read on, Ben. Go back. And it was the 7th verse or 6th verse?
The 7th verse now.
Okay, 7th verse.
And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the 2 side posts and on the upper door posts of the houses, wherein they shall eat it.
Right. So you would take the blood and put it on the 2 door posts of your house. Okay? That blood represented what? That blood represented the salvation for the nation of Israel. If you didn't follow the instruction, okay? If you didn't follow the instruction, then you wasn't saved. There was no salvation for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? And when you read the scriptures that happened, there were a few Israelites Hebrews that didn't follow the instruction. Just like today, we're not following the instruction. Okay? And this is why the Most High brought us down into captivity, and we're in our second bondage here in America. Because we wasn't obedient to the instruction of Yahweh. Come? You had to follow instruction because that blood represented what? Your salvation. Because when the Most High was going to bring this death angel was going to kill a whole bunch of the firstborn of the Egyptians. But if you didn't have the blood on your doorpost, it was going to kill you too.
Yeah.
Okay? So we have to follow instruction. Okay, we're going to show you. Go ahead, Ben.
And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire, and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it.
Okay, see? So tonight is the first night of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Come? And this is what we're supposed to do. Eat the flesh of the lamb, okay, a lamb or a goat, okay, roast with fire, unleavened bread, meaning nothing with yeast in it, no leavening agents in it, and so forth. Come? Okay, and then, of course, your bitter herbs. That's all you're supposed to have tonight, because tonight's the first night. Come? That's what you're supposed to have. And then, of course, as you know, a piece of unleavened bread goes for 7 days. Now, the other days, of course, you can have your food and everything, but of course, still, it's unleavened bread. Okay, come? And your food should be fixed fresh. Okay? You can't have something in the refrigerator for 3 days and take it out and then start to cook it and eat it, then it's unclean. Come? You fix your food every day for the 7 days fresh. Of course, no unleavened, no leavening bread. All your bread should be unleavened. Okay? All right, Ben, go ahead.
9th verse. Eat none of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire his head with his legs, and with the purtenance thereof.
Okay, so now, of course, now it says no sodden, meaning no gravy and so forth. Understand? His head with his legs and with the purtenance thereof. So, supposed to roast the lamb. Okay, roast it. Okay? We're not talking about baking it and so forth. We got to roast it with fire. Because remember, we're going to eat it. We're going to eat it in haste, and we're going to be on the move. Okay, this is why when the Passover these days, schools have gotten into where it's like a lavish party, a lavish banquet, and understand, and it's not supposed to be like that. Okay, so we got to come back to how it's originally supposed to be done. Okay, come. Go ahead, man.
And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and that which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire.
Right. So tonight, all your lamb that you have, you eat what you can eat, and your family eat what they can eat, and so forth. But after that, if there's any left, of course, you can't let nothing of it remain until the morning. You're supposed to bury it or whatever. Okay, let it go, throw it away, and bury it. Burn it. Burn it, and that's it. Okay, if you're not going to eat all that night, then that's it. You can't leave leftovers. Now, what you can do the next day, you get some more lamb, right? And roast that. Roast that fresh and eat that. Understand what I'm saying? But don't let nothing of it remain until the morning. Okay, go ahead, up.
11th verse. And thus shall ye eat it with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is Yahweh's Passover.
Right, see? It's Yahweh's Passover. So your loins should be girded. Okay, your staff's in your hand. All right, your shoes on your feet. Because why? This is the time when we were leaving Egypt out of bondage. So the Most High was preparing us to get the hell out of there. Understand what I'm saying? Get the hell out of there. And so that's how that Passover was. Why? And also, you got to remember, the death angel was on its way. Okay? So just imagine today how that was, and you hear all the screams of the Egyptians and all their firstborn dropping dead, and then the firstborn of all the animals too. But where we were, where the Hebrew Israelites were in Goshen, understand, nothing happened. Okay? Now, if you didn't put the blood on your doorpost, something did happen. Something happened. Okay, so you got to understand that. Something happened. Okay? Just like the coronavirus today. Isn't something happening? Isn't a lot of Israelites being killed by it? A lot of people being killed by it. Why? Because they're not following the instruction. They're wicked. Okay? Most High is not pardoning them. Okay? Most High say, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy. And have, understand? And he will have grace on whom he wants to have grace on. So the same thing is happening today. We're going to show you. Go ahead, up.
12th verse. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am Yahweh.
See, for I will pass through the land of Egypt this night. So, Ash, you might get me Revelation was 11 and 8. Just show them, so we can show you that this is modern day Egypt. So the same death angel the Most High passed through ancient Egypt, that same death angel is passing through modern day Egypt, and they call it the coronavirus and so forth. Do you understand, Con? The same thing. So the same way that the blood of the Lamb was the salvation for Israel back then, the blood of the Lamb is the salvation for Israel today. Con? But we know it's Hamashiach Yahushua. Con? You're not gonna take the blood of the Lamb that you have for the Passover now and put it in the doorpost. There's no need to do that, right? Con? Because who was the ultimate sacrifice now? Right. All right. So it has to be by faith. All right. And your love of the Most High, Hamashiach Yahushua. Then that same blood of the Lamb still delivers you from the coronavirus today. And read that for us, Ash.
What is Revelation 11:8?
Yeah, come.
Revelation 11, chapter 8, verse. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Right, that's talking about America, right? America is now spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Sodomy, all right, for the homosexuality that you have in America and so forth throughout the society. And then, of course, Egypt, because Egypt is a Greek word that means bondage, for the slavery that we served here. Come? So it's spiritually. So now, this is modern day Egypt. What did the Most High say when you read in Deuteronomy 28:59? He said he's going to bring all the diseases back on us in modern day Egypt. Even the diseases that were not even named, that there was no name for them. Okay? He's going to bring diseases that are not even named in the Bible. Coronavirus is not named in the Bible, but it's here. All right? Tuberculosis, cancer, sickle cells, diabetes, all these are not named in the Bible, but they're here. Okay, come? And they're attacking all people. How all of a sudden Trump now is saying that now it's attacking the African American community all of a sudden now, more than the so-called white community. He just said that yesterday. How the hell did all of a sudden coronavirus become a black man's disease overnight? How did that happen? Well, we know how it happened.